All right, we're here with sophomore defensive lineman Brett Johnson. We'll go ahead and ask questions for Brett. First one comes in from Jim McGill.
Brett, good to see you. Can you talk a little bit about your position versatility? You came in and played defensive tackle, probably a little on the light side, but excelled there. Have you taken any reps at defensive end too? And where do you fit in the four-man front?
So right now they've moved me from a zero tech into a 4i. I feel like 4i is where I am more naturally suited. I moved on to nose guard when I first got here. Not moved on. I stayed at nose guard all through high school, so I'm pretty accustomed to that style of like just the deep interior D lineman play where you have a bunch of guys on you every play. But now that I'm in a bigger league with bigger people, it makes more sense for me to be in a 4i where I get more one-on-one action.
For fans who aren't as familiar, can you describe a little bit about what the responsibilities are at that position?
At what position?
The four.
The four. So the four, I'm on the inside shade of the tackle. Just my job to take control of that B gap and make sure nothing comes out, and obviously switch to C gap when run comes.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Rusty Simmons from the San Francisco Chronicle.
Yeah, Brett, I don't even know if this is possible after one day, but give me an idea of what you expect out of the defense this season.
I expect a pretty good performance from all of us, especially on the D line. It's me, Maldonado, and Zionde. We're the guys up front right now for our odd package, but we are a decently experienced group, and we've been playing pretty hard, so I'm expecting us to perform pretty well.
And as you were explaining to Jim, I know you're busy and probably are not watching what's happening on the back end, but give me an idea about Elijah Hicks. What are your thoughts on his play?
I think he's a good player. I don't pay too much attention to the defensive backs, but I know we've always had pretty solid defensive backs as of recent history, and I am fully expecting them to keep on that legacy and continue to play good.
Right on. Thanks so much.
Of course.
All right, Trace Travers from Rivals.
Hey, Brett. You've kind of, within the course of a year, you've become one of the most tenured defensive linemen. How has it been making that transition from, freshman to sophomore, and now you have 4 true freshmen that have got to learn what you did last year?
I definitely feel for those freshmen. I know what it's like to be in their shoes. And I'm excited for them. I'm excited for myself as well, being able to continue to build upon what I've built for myself. But I mean, personally, I'm just excited. I'm just excited to keep rising my level of play. But for the freshmen, I'm just going to do my best to be there for them and help support them through their journey as well.
Has there been one thing that Coach Browning has emphasized to you guys through the first day of all of this so far?
Browning always emphasizes mental toughness over everything, and then physical toughness to match that. So no matter what, obviously he's good with his scheme and he's good with just coaching up the defense itself, but he just really makes sure at a very personal level and a physical level we're very prepared to play.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Jake Curtis.
Yeah, Brett, just to clarify, do you expect to play more defensive end than nose tackle this year?
I definitely expect to play more 4i.
Thanks.
Yep.
Jim McGill, Bear Insider.
Yeah, Brett, can you talk about where you are weight-wise, and also you were an elite wrestler in high school. How does the principles of wrestling help you on the defensive line in the trenches?
Weight-wise, I'm sitting at about 290, 288. Wrestling, I'll always fall back on wrestling as one of the best things that I've ever done to help me be prepared for this level of play. Obviously, I love wrestling just as the sport itself, but I really wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for all the wrestling that I've done through high school.
What do you think carries over onto the football field from wrestling?
Back and leverage, knowing where to place your feet when you got a big body trying to press on you, how to push back on them. Just basically leverage, I would say.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, Jasper Sundin from the Daily Cow.
Hey, Brett. Bit of a non-football question here. I know you guys have had daily testing. Can you talk about what that's been like?
I honestly couldn't tell you because I contracted COVID a couple months ago. So the way they have it is if you've contracted it, they don't want you testing for it for a while because there'll still be like dead viral particles within you that could come up positive on a test when you're not even contagious. But from what I've seen, like my teammates do it, they just have us go up into our facilities, like up in the stadium. You sign in, they pass you the little swab, and then you swab your nose and they swab your throat. You swab it yourself, and you just turn it in and move on.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
Jackson Moore.
Well, I have another question, but to follow up on that one, can you just describe what it was like going through that a couple of months ago, like you mentioned, and how you've recovered?
It wasn't bad. Pretty much no symptoms at all. I was just in my house playing Warzone and eating chicken pot pies, just living that lazy quarantine life for a little bit. But afterwards, I was able to got my conditioning back. But yeah, it wasn't really that bad for me at all.
Gotcha. And you also mentioned that you felt the 4i was maybe a better fit for you within the conference. Can you describe some of your game that might be shown off more this year that maybe we haven't seen as much so far?
It's within space at nose guard, so bundled up, and it's just an immediate hit, and you just gotta like you hit them, and then you feel where the block's going. At least that's how I've always seen it. At 4i, you kind of have to see where the block's going, then hit it. So that'll take a little bit of time to transition and get used to that. But I feel like that's what I'm more suited for in the long run.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, Rusty Simmons from the Chronicle.
Brett, I was just going to ask you a random one about Saturdays. I know this has been a month where you normally would be playing on Saturdays. What have you been doing? What's it been like?
I've been spending most of my free time just hanging out at the house with my housemates, just doing school. Because that's another thing too, is we're in school right now when usually we wouldn't be in school during camp. Another level of responsibility that we have to stay accountable for.
Thank you.
Of course.
From Lorenzo Reyna, is there anyone you're looking forward to facing November 7th against Washington?
Like anyone, like personally?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he means. Yes.
Not necessarily. I don't really know anyone personally on that team, but yeah, I'm just excited to go toe to toe with that offensive line again, because it was last year. Last year against UW was my first true college start, and that was a pretty big time offensive line that they had at that year, and it was a lot of fun. Definitely another level of competition and challenge, but I really enjoyed that, so I'm excited to meet up with them again.
Awesome. Okay, well, guys, we'll give you a couple seconds here. If anybody else has a question, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we'll let Brett go. Okay. Seeing nothing, Brett. Thank you very much. Really
Thanks, Brett.
appreciate
Of
it.
course.
Okay.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.